champion, weighing 190 pounds, no mercy, Zeke Mercer!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Victory Championship Wrestling presents Fight Fire with Fire 2. I'm Eamon Payton alongside Jim LaManna and Declan Finnegan. Guys, we have a great night of action in store here in our return to Washington, PA.
Victory Championship Wrestling back in Washington, and what a barn burner card. 10 big matches on the lineup here tonight.
No Mercy, Zeke Mercer already in the ring right now, awaiting his challenger, making his VCW debut.
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 185 pounds, the Sky Prince,
Anthony Young from Pittsburgh coming in to Washington to make his debut here for Victory Championship Wrestling. And as you two know, this is the place for young up-and-coming talents to really make a name for themselves all across this area.
A1 Anthony Young, a student out of the ICWA Wrestling Academy, has really made a name for himself over the past few years, but pro wrestling pundits have been predicting a very bright future for A1. We're going to see if he can expand the territory here in Victory Championship Wrestling. This is a matchup I think could be a potential show stealer for us, gentlemen.
Certainly, I'm looking forward to seeing A1 Anthony Young. First opportunity that I've had to see him in the ring.
And what a challenge facing him in the form of Zeke Mercer, in many ways considered the heart and soul of Victory Championship Wrestling. If you want a test coming into this company for the first time, No Mercy Zeke Mercer is quite the test.
Referee Mark Charles assigned this contest.
We want to give a big thank you and shout out to the South Franklin Fire Department for hosting us here tonight in Washington, PA, Station 32 here in Washington. All proceeds for tonight's event go towards the South Franklin Fire Department, and it's a great relationship that we have and a great chance to host wrestling here in Washington, PA, as Zeke Mercer getting a better here of Anthony Young in the corner, but quite a stalemate in the early goings.
Yeah, this is definitely a situation where you're going to have to really take calculated risk, because as we know, it takes just 3 seconds. One slip could end the night for you, and you know that Anthony Young in particular making his VCW debut, if he wants to get himself in the conversation of VCW in 2025, you have to be successful here in your debut, because as you said, Eamon, and it was very wisely stated, Zeke Mercer is somewhat of a measuring stick for those that want to come in here and make an impact, become a regular on the VCW roster.
Anthony Young may be getting a little bit better, but Zeke Mercer is not going to have someone, play head games with them, get in their mind, psych them off their game. And Zeke Mercer also coming in to this matchup with quite the high from our last event in McMecken, West Virginia, in that Fans Bring the Weapons match in the main event, getting the victory.
One of the most violent matches in the history of this organization, I can tell you that much. And here we're seeing that amateur background from Zeke. We've seen that they know exactly how to get an opponent down on the canvas, because that's where you can win the matchup. Plus, Anthony Young, shoulders down here, nicely done. Anthony Young is known to be a high flyer. How do you neutralize the offense of A1? You keep him on the canvas.
Absolutely, and Mercer in full control here with his side headlock.
I don't know that you guys are giving A1 enough credit. He looks like he has some seasoning in that ring.
Definitely a great ring acumen from all that I've seen in the past, but also you can just tell in great physical shape and conditioning. And
back heel trip from Zeke. Did you see that? How Zeke was able to not only extricate himself defensively, but put himself back on offense with the side headlock.
Still seems like there's a feeling out period between these two men in the ring, and that makes some sense because I don't know that each other know all that much about the other men.
Sent on to the ropes, Zeke Mercer duck under. Anthony Young, oh, look at that, using the arm to get Zeke Mercer up and back into that hold.
That was a slick move.
Yeah, very, very well done. That front chantry now transitioning back to the headlock. That's how you control an opponent. It's elementary but effective, which is why it's one of the staples of professional wrestling.
Mercer was trying to wiggle their way free, but instead shot to the gut. Sometimes that's the easiest method is the correct method when it comes to getting out of a hold in professional wrestling. But Mercer trying to fight back.
And Deck, to your point, I believe the feeling out process is over here because we're seeing the animosity escalate here as A1 just bull rushed Mercer. They got waffled in the center of the ring that time.
And look at the way this man poses. He's a true professional in this ring.
Oh, Mercer tried for a shot. Irish whip off the ropes. Mercer, Hurricanrana, nice takedown.
Zeke is so dynamic inside those ring ropes.
Big drop kick.
2 feet firmly in the chest sends A1 to the canvas, following up. Did you notice how quickly Zeke followed up with that pinfall attempt? That's a sign of a true professional, making the most of the opportunity with your opponent on the canvas.
Now Mercer trying to get Young up onto his shoulders and having the wherewithal to grab that top rope.
Yeah, it's some ring generalship, Eamon, to your point.
Well, and the Haught needs to be broken at that point. I don't know necessarily.
Oh, man, that was nasty.
And that was, I think, right across the eyes on that rope. And that is not just a rope. That is a stiff cable cover. Only 2.
Referee Mark Charles finds 2. And again, I'm going to go back to the animosity escalating here.
Young, you can just see in his eyes, like hyper-focused on taking it to Zeke Mercer, not even letting the opportunity slip by him. And now taking things out onto the floor. Quite a dangerous environment here that Young is placing this match in.
Yeah, we've got the steel guardrails, obviously the ring posts, the apron. Not friendly territory out there on the floor. But again, Young showing wisdom beyond his years because he's getting his opponent back in the ring because it's where you can win the matchup.
Mercer trying to fight from underneath here with forearm shots. But, oh, Young going to those eyes.
Well, we're seeing who's going to take that shortcut.
Eamon, I don't know that he necessarily went to the eyes. I think his head just fell into his hands, and Young didn't really have a choice.
Did A1 slip you some 20s before tonight's broadcast or something?
If he did, LaMotta, do you think I'd tell you?
No, you definitely wouldn't. But
I would love to know. I would love some 20s, but calling the action fair around the middle here. But Young in the cover. Mercer able to get a light kick out there, but not the same force that you would normally expect.
And that shows you how much the offense is really beginning to take its toll on Zeke here.
Irish whip now, off into the ropes. Ooh, tried for a drop kick, but Young was scouted there by Mercer. Mercer now off the ropes. Oh, catches him on the rebound!
Poetry in motion that time.
Wow!
There was some sizzle on that one.
Absolutely.
Young is showing himself to be quite impressive here in the early goings. And I have to imagine a lot of that pre-match scouting when you prepare for a matchup like this is coming into a play, knowing when and where to catch Zeke Mercer off guard. Mercer now trying to fight back here. Possibly waistlock here, maybe German suplex. Young, though, able to fight free.
Yeah, Young using that height advantage to try to neutralize some of the leverage here. And we're seeing the tide turn. This has been a very, very evenly matched contest. That's what we can expect because these two are of a similar age, similar experience level. And, of course, as we've seen, they're both very, very agile.
Well, it would appear that A1 Anthony Young, he all of a sudden took it up another notch when he started to tear off those pants. Those tearaway pants came off, and now it looks like he's ready for business.
It's almost as if that was the pregame in his mind, telling Zeke Mercer, now we're in overdrive.
Zeke trying to extricate themselves here. Chin breaker works their way out.
Big clothesline.
And now we're seeing Mercer match that intensity here.
That's the thing with Zeke Mercer. When their back is up against the wall, that's typically when they turn it up a little bit, but a nice kick there right to the side of the head of Mercer. Very agile is Anthony Young.
I mean, you had mentioned that he was turning up to overdrive, but I don't even know that.
2.5.
2 count. I don't even know that he's gotten started in this match. LaMotta had mentioned that the animosity is starting to build, but I think there's a whole nother level in the tank for A1.
Well, we know that Anthony Young has cardio for days. That's one thing on our IndyWrestling.us network. He had a recent matchup in the APWF and show that he can go that 15, 20-minute mark. He's not going to run out of gas.
But you do not want to get into a striking battle with Zeke Mercer, as Mercer
Correct.
laying in those forearm shots. Oh, Young catching him off there with a shoulder right to the gut. And now what could he be thinking here? Double underhook.
A1 could be looking to put this one away. Zeke was aware of it.
See, I don't like the way that Zeke seems to use the ring to his advantage in this match at every opportunity.
You don't like that, but you like that from A1.
Well, again, there's a difference between using the environment to your advantage and just downright cheating.
Oh, big brain buster right in the center of the ring. This could be it.
This is it.
Lackadaisical cover will not get it done in that exchange. You have to hook the leg if you want to put away someone like Zeke Mercer.
You're exactly right there, Jim. It was a mounting cover, but didn't have the pressure down on the shoulders, either exasperation or maybe a little bit of cockiness.
Cockiness? He has the word icon tattooed across his chest.
That's fair. Definitely not a subtle man. Oh, Mercer.
Wait a minute, telegraphed it. Zeke caught him.
Big German suplex. And now Mercer trying to get the wherewithal under him, and a big clothesline turns Young inside out. But Zeke unable to capitalize here.
We're at a virtual stalemate here. The first competitor to their feet could have a real advantage here.
And Mercer just wasting time trying to get the crowd behind him. This is a terrible, terrible misjudgment.
Eyeing up Young. Big clothesline.
Well, Washington's behind Zeke, and there's a lot of force behind those clotheslines.
You know what's not going to help Zeke Mercer in this match?
Ooh!
Blue Thunder bomb hooks those legs.
No.
Inches away. We are high drama, high competition in just our opening matchup here in Washington.
And this should be proof to Zeke Mercer that trying to pander to the crowd isn't what's most important. Yes, these fine people at Washington, PA seem to be behind him, but that's not going to be what wins him the match.
Mercer thought he had it put away with that Blue Thunder bomb, but now eyeing up.
Oh, wait.
Possibly for that running Shining Wizard. Oh, but Young unable to get to his feet, and the referee trying to get some separation here.
Well, this is the first time that the referee has finally taken charge of this match.
Look out. Wait a minute.
Is Mercer up? Oh!
Young using the position of the official.
That was such an astute move. And now climbing to the top.
What could he be thinking? Big elbow drop right to the chest. Cover, hook of the leg. No!
Unbelievable. Competition personified right here.
LaMotta, that seemed like a very slow 2 count.
Who are you to doubt Mark Charles?
Well, look, we're in Washington, PA. I'm not sure that anybody can count to 3.
Well, that's again, thank you to our South Franklin Volunteer Fire Department for having us, as Declan's insulted all of you here.
Oh,
wait a minute. Pick up.
Wait, he was trying for that double underhook before. Mercer now able to fight free with an arm drag. There's that Shining Wizard!
And I believe A1 just got his lights knocked out. Hooks the leg. He got it. Zeke Mercer, they have done it.
No mercy, Zeke Mercer.
That was a hell of a matchup.
A great way to kick off Fight Fire with Fire 2. Back and forth action. It seemed like either man could have it won, but Zeke Mercer pulling out the victory.
And they have proven once again that they are, in fact, the measuring stick of Victory Championship Wrestling.
And look at Mercer here. A small sign of respect to Anthony Young.
Well, say what you will. Anthony Young may not have gotten the victory, but he had an impressive showing in this match for sure.
You're absolutely right there.
I got to tell you, fellas, if I get a chance to tell VCW management I want to see round 2, I want to see Zeke Mercer, Anthony Young one more time.
LaMotta, they don't want to talk to you, but you're absolutely right.
Big congratulations to both competitors for a valiant effort. But a great night of action we still have to come tonight, including our main event for the VCW Heavyweight Championship. 3 men in that ring, all vying for gold, including the champion Cowpoke Paul taking on Gory and the Beastman. That is going to be can't miss action in our main event here tonight.
In-house tonight, 50-50 tickets are available. The gentleman right there.
How you doing, Eamon?
I'm doing great.
I'm happy to see you. I hope your holidays were well. I hope you had a happy new year. Declan, I can't say the same for you, but I am happy to see you, Eamon.
I was going to say, what am I, chopped liver or LaMotta?
I would call you things much worse than chopped liver, but we're on the air right now.
IndyWrestling.us will put up with a lot, but not that.
Why are you talking poorly about chopped liver? What's it ever done to you?
Did you say something?
That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be.
And your referee is George Ross.
Give it up one time for George Ross.
Oh, there's that George Ross again.
I do have to note, senior official Josh Main.
He's boycotting us tonight, Eamon.
Making apparently, if you're as a senior official, you don't really have any obligation to show up at Victory Championship Wrestling events.
Well, for those that are uninformed, George Ross has played a pivotal role in VCW over the past couple months, and maybe part of the reason why Josh Main hasn't even shown up.
Weighing 208 pounds, cutthroat, Wayne Campbell. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, weighing 168 pounds, Foxcatcher. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 246 pounds, Vesper.
Six-man tag team action as we continue on here tonight. Three competitors. Like I said, that young talent coming up here in Victory Championship Wrestling looking for an opportunity. Cutthroat Clay Campbell along with Vesper and Foxcatcher.
And their opponents.
And they will have a tough test ahead of them as well. Like I said, I want to thank everyone for joining us here on IndyWrestling.us live streaming. Be sure to hashtag VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2.
Weighing at 275 pounds, taken down in the ring by Stacy Hunter, the Highlander, Michael McGowan.
Well,
from Greenville, South Carolina, weighing 215 pounds, Avalanche, and from the Presidential Ranch Trailer Park, weighing 5 solid propane tanks, Terry, the White Cash, Luchador.
Eamon, I could tell you a few things about the pair you're seeing right there. Stacy Hunter and McGowan. Don't look at me like that. Do not look at me like that. Declan Finnegan.
I am shocked, LaMotta. HR will be hearing about this from me. How insulting.
As much as I wish I could take credit for that, that was completely accidental. I apologize to our viewers. But McGowan is as gritty and as nasty as they come.
And it looks like McGowan going to be starting things off here with Foxcatcher. Foxcatcher did make an appearance at our last event in Moundsville, West Virginia. Oh. And now, McGowan getting a hold of Foxcatcher, coming in right off the bat.
McGowan has been wrestling nearly 30 years. And Foxcatcher on the other end of that spectrum is brand new to the wrestling business. Aside from being at our last event in Moundsville.
Oh, quick tag in now to Vesper. Sometimes that is the advantage of a matchup like this. Quick tags in and out, and especially with someone like you mentioned, LaMotta, with the experience of McGowan. Snapmare takedown by Vesper.
Stacy Hunter's been causing trouble in this area for nearly 3 decades as well.
I just think we need to reflect for a second, gentlemen, of the fact that VCW has representation literally in this ring from all over the country right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
As now
Clay Campbell hooking that leg.
Quite the array of individuals, array of styles, array of personalities. Cutthroat Clay Campbell trying to get the better here of McGowan and sending him into his team's corner. Very smart move.
Vesper and Foxcatcher, who we're seeing tagging here, students of the stronghold of Rise Wrestling out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Foxcatcher competing across the tri-state area so far.
Nice ring awareness there by Foxcatcher, tripping down McGowan. Oh, but as I say that,
talking about Stacy Hunter has been a nuisance of Pittsburgh wrestling for decades.
As I praise Foxcatcher's ring awareness, you also have to take into account outside the ring.
And somehow the white trash luchador Terry here fits in quite well with McGowan. Makeup, Make of that what you will.
Terry, a very scrappy individual who's been here for a while here in Victory Championship Wrestling from the VCW Wrestling Academy, coming up the ranks. It's been proven can take a beating and get back up. Ooh, nicely done there.
Textbook.
First seeing of Avalanche Adams here, now going to go in for the cover on Foxcatcher.
LaMotta, how dare you refer to Stacy as a nuisance on the Pittsburgh wrestling scene? If anybody's a nuisance, it would be you.
Did you say something?
That said, what do you think about the trio in the ring right now?
Foxcatcher trying to extricate himself here.
Extricate? Look at the Gordon Soley-like vocabulary.
Oh, man. Foxcatcher got caught in the temple.
This could be it now. Cover, hook of the leg.
Could be over very, very quickly.
You could just see
Foxcatcher, you can see he's on Dream Street. He doesn't know where he's at.
seeing stars here as Foxcatcher in the wrong place here in the opposite corner. Tag in to Highlander Mike McGowan. Definitely the brute force of this team. Oh, and the grid as well is now taking Foxcatcher from pillar to post.
See, that's the seasoned veteran right there. That's the seasoning that you have from McGowan, being able to use the ring to his advantage.
Breaking all the rules is what you're talking about.
That's not what I said at all.
Avalanche Adams now tag in. Ooh, big long boot right to the rib cage of Foxcatcher now. Catching Foxcatcher, big scoop slam in the center of the ring. This team of Adams, McGowan, and Terry have really cut the ring in half. They're really working down Foxcatcher, which seems to be the smallest man in this matchup. Series of elbows.
Foxcatcher, again, does not know where he is because there's a tried and true rule in tag team wrestling, whether it be traditional wrestling or six-person matches, cutting the ring in half, and that's what we're seeing right now. And you know that McGowan was able to direct his young compatriots to do that.
And he's done a tremendous job. As you said, the premise of tag wrestling and trio wrestling is to try to truly cut off that ring. And McGowan has really kind of demonstrated here to his young partners the importance of that. And you can see the value of that happening right now.
Ooh, big chin breaker there by Foxcatcher.
That was a nice move by Foxcatcher for sure.
Lucha pass.
Spine buster!
Double A style, and you know that I can appreciate some double A.
But it was the desperation maneuver. I see where you were going now. Desperation maneuver by Foxcatcher.
But can he capitalize? That's the thing. And it looks like kick out. Oh,
tagging
he
to
made
Campbell.
that tag.
And a big house of fire is cutthroat Clay Campbell.
He wants to make an impression, and he's doing it right here.
Series of shots now. Kick to the gut. Snaps him with that neck breaker. Nicely done. Quick cover now. Hook of the leg. Oh, but McGowan right in to break it up.
McGowan is such a time-tested pro, man. He will not let anything slip by. He knows exactly what to do and when to do it.
Well, when you're the captain, you have to make sure that you take control. And give it to McGowan. He's certainly doing that right now with his team.
Oh, he's directing traffic. You're right. He is the captain of the team here. Gut wrench.
That's a brilliant move there, too.
Oh, big power bomb there. Cover. And that is it.
He is a roughneck, but he is the winner.
The Highlander Michael McGowan and Terry the White Trash Luchador.
Big victory for McGowan, Adams, and Terry the White Trash Luchador here, standing tall at Victory Championship Wrestling.
LaMotta, I think you owe Stacy Hunter an apology. She did not really get involved in that match at all.
Trust me, Stacy Hunter has a nefarious reputation, but you know what else that reputation is associated with? Success. Like here tonight. And I gotta tell you what, I don't think it would be a stretch to think that McGowan, Stacy Hunter, and their new understudies could be a force here in VCW in 2025. Stacy Hunter has managed dozens and dozens of athletes to championships.
Well, those youngsters are quite a pair, that's for sure.
Great victory tonight, along with that VCW heavyweight title match that we mentioned earlier. We also want to keep an eye out for later tonight. 2 out of 3 falls when Bearcat Keith Haught goes head-to-head with the Monarch Clayton King. They have had quite the rivalry as of late here in Victory Championship Wrestling, and this match is sure to settle the score. And as mentioned as well, we will also see the VCW Brass Knuckles champion Mad Dog Myers in action tonight, along with Marcus Twist, part of the Worst Generation.
Your next match is a singles contest scheduled for 1 fall with a 15-minute time limit.
But we continue with this next matchup and more action here tonight, again featuring 2 VCW debuts.
Introducing first.
And I can't tell you how much this next debut makes me nauseating, and
You just did tell us.
you'll see why momentarily.
Why do you have to be so disrespectful? LaMotta, you would think that a person of your stature would be better than this.
Not when it comes to this guy, because Chris Helmsly is as sleazy and as low down as they come.
From a town much better than yours, weighing in at 225 pounds, he is the highlight of the night. Classic Chris Helmsly.
One of the most underhanded and one of the most annoying people that I've ever had to deal with in the wrestling business, and that's covering some ground, is Chris Helmsly. But the bottom line is this guy's been making a lot of headlines around Pittsburgh, being very impactful. You can see that on IndyWrestling.us, of course.
Why do you call him underhanded? He's classic. See, and the people of Washington really don't deserve someone as classic.
Well, look out.
What is this? What is this?
Is a sensitive tough guy. He's literally just a girl. Here's the dumpster fire, Ryan Zayne.
Ryan Zayne, the dumpster fire, a name he takes quite pride in. Maybe not as classic as classic Chris Helmsly.
Maybe.
Probably not. But Ryan Zayne, a ball of energy here.
Hey man, I've heard of people wearing trash bags as gear, but this is getting a little ridiculous.
This whole thing is beneath the classic Chris Helmsly. Why are we...
Ryan Zayne is very eccentric, very entertaining in his own way. Doesn't look like he's showered today or this week, but he's here. Good thing we're in a firehouse, because with the grease in his hair, one may break out.
You always got to be prepared.
Speaking of prepared, you were ringing the bell. We're underway.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Listen.
That comes a little bit later in the show.
There you go. There you go. Ryan Zayne, Chris Helmsly squaring off here tonight.
Oh, don't tell me. Are they going to actually lock up? Is Chris Helmsly going? Oh, I knew it. You don't expect Chris Helmsly to have to touch this man, do you?
Well, you can see where he was touching there. Had an itch somewhere. Maybe some dry skin in the wintertime here in frigid western Pennsylvania.
I swear, the Athletic Commission has to say something. Let's be some medical check, something.
That would be the first time the Athletic Commission did something productive.
There you go.
Attica. Oh, wait.
Yeah,
lock.
I can answer Chris Helmsley's question. I don't think so. But Ryan Zayne in control now. Might be unconventional, but it seems to be working in the early goings.
Unconventional would be one adjective to accurately describe Ryan Zayne.
But Helmsley getting the early goings of this. Helmsley chained by Dean Radford. Has quite the acumen in the ring, even as he may be as nauseating as Jim LaMotta does point out. Ooh.
Yeah, I need a Zofran. I am feeling nauseous.
I don't understand why you two are so down on Chris Helmsly.
Just look at him. Visually, he's unsettling.
He's classic.
I love that you figure Helmsley to be the unsettling one in this matchup in terms of a man that just came out wearing a trash bag. Well, Helmsley,
deep arm drag.
Taking his eye off the ball there.
And this is the point here, because as unconventional and as eccentric as Ryan is, he gets it done. Helmsly, not exactly the bravest maneuver, but it's smart. Take a walk, regroup yourself.
Playing the long game, you could say, is Chris Helmsly here.
And now, as if it weren't bad enough, now Helmsly has to interact with the crowd here at Washington.
I mean, he is from a better city than this, I believe is what our ring announcer titled him from. Does cover a lot of ground. I would love him to be a little more specific. But Helmsly taking advantage here. Big back body drop.
You can see the impact there is Ryan Zayne ricocheting on impact. I feel bad for Mark Charles having to officiate this madness, quite frankly.
I feel bad for Helmsly having to be involved in this match and have to touch Zayne in the first place. This man is disgusting.
Well, I will say, very difficult to pick up a win in a pro wrestling match without getting your hands dirty, so to speak. So if Helmsly wants to pick up the victory and gain his first win here in Victory Championship Wrestling, he's going to have to get his hands all over Ryan Zayne here.
There have to be some standards, Eamon. There have to be standards.
Well, Helmsly doesn't really have standards, because see him blatantly breaking the rules, raking the face across the top rope there.
I didn't see that at all.
And if you're watching here on our live stream here, IndyWrestling.us, you can see more blatant choking from Helmsly.
He's using the ring to his advantage. That's what smart, intelligent wrestlers do.
Helmsly in full control here of Ryan Zayne, but getting into it with our audience here in Washington. Oh, big slap right across the face, right across the chops of dumpster fire Ryan Zayne.
And again, look, if you play within the rules, you have a 5 count to break the hold.
And Helmsly absolutely going to exert it any chance he can get. Irish whip off into the ropes by Zayne. Zayne had it scouted, sunset flip.
Up and over here.
Oh, but Helmsly very smart, using his legs to break up that cover. But that could have been an upset here in this matchup.
If I were Helmsly, I'd use every part of my body, my legs, my feet, anything that I would have to do so that I don't have to touch that man.
Helmsley's in firm control, but on a rare mistake in terms of being in ring, he was hesitating, letting Ryan Zayne
Helmsly
recover.
does not make mistakes.
2.5. Well, this is smart here because he's maintaining control of the contest.
And look at the intensity in this man's eyes.
Ranking in here on Ryan Zayne with this chin lock, keeping him grounded onto the mat, and now using that knee again.
No, there's something wrong with his boot, you see there. It looked like he had a wardrobe malfunction of some sort.
God, let's hope not.
Ryan Zayne, though, the look in his eyes, you can see, knowing that he needs to fight up, knowing that this matchup is slipping away from him.
Zayne is very tenacious. That's one thing that we can say. This guy is truly a fighter, man. He doesn't give up. He'll go tooth and nail.
You could also call him classic, because that's what he is, LaMotta.
I was talking about Ryan Zayne.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, what you said.
Chris Helmsly here.
Hell of a call, pal.
I'm not your pal, Palooka.
I was talking to Eamon.
Oh.
Double underhook. Reversal there now by Ryan Zayne. Big forearm shot. Falls in with another, keeping a hold of Helmsly here and not letting up. Off the ropes. Double clothesline. Both
Big
men with the same
collision.
idea.
Center ring, man. Everybody got wiped out on that one.
And a stalemate here in this one.
This is some quite hard-hitting action here in Washington, Pennsylvania. I was excited when I had heard that VCW was traveling outside of West Virginia until I found out that we have to go to Washington, Pennsylvania. Do you know how hard this place is to get to? Do you know how hard it is to land a Learjet in Washington, Pennsylvania?
It's a shame you found it, quite frankly.
Ryan Zayne, series of shots, elbows, and clotheslines.
Firing up, no pun intended.
Dumpster firing up, you could say.
Absolutely.
Oh!
One-man flapjack. Unorthodox but effective.
Planting Chris Helmsly face first into the mat and now off the ropes. Oh, Helmsly. Oh, thought he could sucker punch Ryan Zayne there.
I think Zayne just pulled the hair.
That
Pretty sure.
He's got a little stubble, but I don't think he could have gotten a good grip. Ryan Zayne.
I think you're underestimating the power of Ryan Zayne, to tell you the truth.
Oh, big cross body, springboard.
2.5. I have to point out the irony that this crowd at our Franklin Fire Department is behind the man known as the Dumpster Fire. You would think there would be some philosophical differences, but Zayne's winning this crowd over.
Wait, Helmsly. Oh, feet on the ropes here. And a referee right on top of it.
That's a 3.
Yeah, the count was not going to put up with any of that nonsense. Feet on the ropes, I don't think so, pal.
Helmsly is not going to get over it on our officials here in VCW that easily. Ryan Zayne, shot to the gut. Tried for that DDT, tried for earlier. Helmsly able to reverse now. Shot to the gut. I'm going to hook the arms. What could he be thinking? Zayne.
Jackknife, shoulders down.
And he gets it!
This is unbelievable.
The winner of the match, the Dumpster Fire, Ryan Zayne!
Well, it looks like this Dumpster Fire is not getting put out. In Ryan Zayne's debut, he picks up the victory. And I gotta imagine Ripper Blackheart looking closely at all the new talents here tonight.
Yeah, shout out to Ripper Blackheart. We know he's tuning in here live across all IndyWrestling.us platforms. If you're watching us on Facebook, on the network, or on YouTube, make sure that you check out the Indie Wrestling Network because, even as you know, all the archives up there.
Absolutely. Every single Victory Championship Wrestling event, you can go through the catalog and see some of the great professional wrestling action that has been brought from Victory Championship Wrestling over the years. He may be classic, but he is not the victor here tonight.
Washington does not deserve a talent like Helmsley. I can't believe that they made that man touch Zayne for this entire match.
Classic Chris Helmsley, huh?
You may be the only one, Dick. You are the singular fan of Chris Helmsley in this building right now.
You are an oxygen bandit.
You like the Dumpster Fire, though, right?
It's not the worst thing I've been called, so I'll take it, quite frankly.
If he put his ass away.
I got nothing to say to that. There's 50-50 or something over there where there's a whole lot less ass.
Well, who wants that?
Depends on who you're talking to,
At
Amy.
this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we told you we have some new faces for you here in VCW.
Depending on who you're
This
talking
lady's
about,
making her
too. Now,
Victory Championship Wrestling debut. Let's make it loud for the woman of 1,000 talents. This is Betty Frenzy.
Betty Frenzy here in Victory Championship Wrestling. Quite the jacket, I gotta say.
How does she get her hair like that?
I don't know, but it's quite a shock when you walk
It's a lot of
into
product.
when you walk into a VCW ring for the first time, and you get a sense of really the crowd that's
Betty,
here.
welcome to VCW. So nice to see you. What brings you here tonight?
Well, my writer said I was not going to have all these fluorescent lights, and I thought that there might be a little music for me, a little razzmatazz, but looks like you couldn't get that together. Oh, none of these people look good in the fluorescents either. You really should have listened to me. Anyway, I'm going to have to go ahead and take that microphone from you, because I've got to interview the greatest
I'm over here.
tag team in the tri-state area, and I can't share a ring with somebody wearing Converse, and not even the good ones.
Now, wait a minute. Ring announcer Matt is
Thank you very
he's
much.
very stylish and very accomplished. As a ring announcer, she has no right
As
to
I said,
challenge
I need to be
his
sharing the
style.
ring with some actual talent. So let's bring out the Big Boss Glenn Spector, the Natural Kanaan Christopher, the Troublemakers.
Lamont, am I getting this right that you're being critical of someone's wardrobe? You're being critical of someone's wardrobe.
Wait a minute here. The Troublemakers, we've seen how impactful they've been in VCW, but we haven't seen them since that absolutely hellacious Transbring the Weapons match. The Big Boss bled buckets on that night.
It was quite the affair, and really the first chink in the armor of the Troublemakers, who have been dominant since their time coming to Victory Championship Wrestling.
The Big Boss is a serious professional, a real jam-up competitor.
The Troublemakers, let's be honest, VCW hasn't been the same since they've declared war months ago.
Absolutely. Kanaan, Christopher.
Troublemakers, it's so nice to see you. Somebody who actually knows how to do all of this.
You know, Betty, you did such a good job. This is the only time I usually do my own intros. This is the only time I'm going to say you did a fantastic job. It's just a pity. It is a pity that you had to do it in front of this Uniontown, where are we at? Washington, PA.
Is there a difference?
This
Straight up facts.
PA trash, wherever we are, the home of big waistlines and low IQ.
I gotta say, I feel as though you two are missing somebody. You have somebody else in this crew, and I hear that there's a little bit of tension there. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, there is a little bit of tension. Keegan Taylor? Is that what you call yourself now? Formerly known as Tyler Brooks. 1/3 of the Troublemakers. And you know what, Keegan? You said we were friends. You said we were brothers. But no, you decided to leave. You decided to change your name because it was better for you in your career. Well, I promise you, next time I see you, you won't have a career.
You know, the thing about it is, I know a crowd this unintelligent and this ugly is probably going to cheer for you, Keegan Taylor. But the problem is, kid, you are trash, you are alone, and we are going to kick your ass. And baby, that's just an F-A-K-T fact.
Glenn Spector, Kanaan Christopher, making it known what they think of the former Tyler Brooks, now Keegan Taylor.
I have no idea what Keegan Brooks, Keegan Taylor, Tyler Brooks.
Asking either of you permission to lead this poor group. And it's funny, you got a lot to say for somebody with a small brain, Katie. And if you thought this was going to be some sort of 2-on-1, you're wrong. Because I run a little company myself.
I don't really understand what Taylor Brooks, whatever his name is thinking. How do you get away from a group like the Troublemakers?
Well, Glenn Spector,
This is a tag team contest scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Introducing first in the ring, they hail from the frat house on the other side of Bass Street, USA. At a combined weight of really big, the Big Boss Glenn Spector, the natural Kanaan Christopher. They are the Troublemakers. Their opponents from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 210 pounds, Keegan Taylor. And his tag team partner, also from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 175 pounds, the man they call Jay
well, Declan, you do say that, why would Keegan Taylor make the choice to leave the Troublemakers? I mean, Glenn Spector is called the Big Boss for a reason, and he rules the Troublemakers with an iron fist. And sometimes that can lead to great success, but sometimes it could be stifling a pro wrestler's career who always, wants that upward trajectory, wants that ability to show who they are and what they're capable of.
I just don't understand why you would throw away the tutelage of someone like Glenn Spector just to make a name for yourself. That's selfish. That's what that is.
Well, Glenn Spector, not going to give Taylor what he wants here in the early goings.
As we know, it was Spector that trained all of the Troublemakers, including Keegan Taylor. So we do have the teacher versus student dynamic here. but there's no substitute for experience, and Spectre has the overwhelming experience advantage.
And now look at the cockiness in the middle of the ring. Spectre needs to teach this young man a lesson.
Well, Taylor getting into the head of Spectre here in the early goings.
No, he's not, Eamon. It would take a whole lot more than something like that to get into the head of a professional like Glenn Spectre.
Don't get me wrong. Never doubt Glenn Spectre. Never underestimate him. But even this Washington crowd seems to be setting off Spectre here in this matchup, and Spectre's going to have to focus and take it to Keegan Taylor here in the early goings.
As I said, Spectre, he's a serious professional. There's no doubt about it. No flaws in his game, of course. Spectre has international experience under his belt. The first ever Gaijin or foreigner to win the DDT tag team titles in the country of Japan. Did a series of tours in Japan spanning 2004, 2005 before he took a hiatus from this sport for several years. But not only is Spectre back, but Spectre has been a force quite literally wherever he's gone. You can see that across the IndyWrestling.us platforms.
Taylor, nice deep arm drag there on Spectre, getting the bigger man over. Following it with another, and Spectre throwing a fit here.
The temper may be the only chink in the armor of the big boss.
Oh, nice drop kick there by Keegan Taylor.
If you think that Glenn Spectre is off his game a little bit, I can't blame the man.
What a vertical leap from Taylor.
As I was saying, I can't blame Spectre for being off his game a little bit. He raised this man almost like he was a son, and now all of a sudden, Tyler Brooks, Keegan Taylor, whatever he wants to call himself, ultimately, he owes everything that he knows to that man in the ring. And look!
Big double hip toss there by Jay Bev and Keegan Taylor. First look at Jay Bev here, also making his Victory Championship Wrestling debut here tonight and taking it to Glenn Spectre with no fear here in the early goings. And able to take the big boss off of his feet.
I think Jay Bev had a few caffeinated beverages on his way to the venue here tonight.
Very hyped, but Spectre going to try to bring him back down the side, so to speak, but able to float over there. Waistlock, Spectre able to fight off. Drop toe hold into the ropes. Not where Jay Bev wants to be. And there's that big boot.
Oh,
yes.
Man, right across the back of the neck as well.
And see, now you can see that Spectre's demeanor has changed a little bit as he's matched up against Jay Bev, who he doesn't necessarily have as much of a personal connection with.
And make no mistake about it, the Troublemakers knew how to exploit not only the position of the referee in that exchange, but also the emotions of Taylor himself. Taylor wanted to interject himself and really only ended up costing Jay Bev because he was getting mugged by both Troublemakers in the opposing corner.
And I think you're going to see a master class of tag team wrestling. We talked earlier about cutting off the ring.
Big back elbow there by Spectre, cutting off Jay Bev as we see our first look here at the natural Kanaan Christopher. Again, quite the impressive student of Glenn Spectre's. Is more than willing, unlike Tyler Brooks, to take that guidance. And it's been paying off in dividends. Spectre, look at double team maneuver possibly here.
And look at the tag team continuity from the Troublemakers.
Boston Crab leg drop combination, but now they're not done here with Jay Bev.
What a transition. And Glenn Spectre lowered the boom center ring that time. Nasty impact from the big boss.
And you know, as I'm thinking about this,
2.5.
As I'm thinking about this, you know, the one thing about this whole development is how much Kanaan Christopher, the natural, might end up benefiting from this terrible, terrible mistake that Keegan Taylor has made. Under the tutelage of Glenn Spectre, now getting that one-on-one personal attention, he doesn't have to take a back seat to anyone. And you can see that happening right now in the ring.
Oh, big boot there by Christopher.
And Bev got waffled that time.
Cover, hook of the leg. Jay Bev still finding the wherewithal to kick out.
I got to tell you, Eamon, I really believe we're going to be talking about Kanaan Christopher for a very, very long time. He checks all the boxes of someone that's going to end up on a national platform sooner rather than later.
I absolutely agree. The size, the power, the agility, all great tools. And again, like Declan mentioned, with the guidance of Glenn Spector, all the fruits are available to Kanaan Christopher if he wants it. Big clothesline there.
Cover here, hooks both legs. Finds two, and that's wisdom beyond Kanaan Christopher's years. The ability to know to maximize the opportunity with the pinfall attempt, and of course force Bev to expend more energy to kick out there.
You took the words right out of my mouth, LaMotta. That's experience that's unfound, and that's because of the tutelage of Glenn Spector. I can just harbor a guess.
Big diving headbutt. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a cover, but instead, I'm sure Glenn Spector will tell our official it's just an accident.
It's just a way to maximize the pain and the torture on your opponent. And Glenn Spector is going to take every opportunity to do that. And look, it's smart to do. That's exactly what you should do in the ring. As long as it's within the rules.
J-Bev trying to fight back, but Spector, I don't think Bev saw that blind tag to Kanaan Christopher.
Look at this. Look at this. Oh!
Powerbomb neckbreaker combo. Oh, and Keegan Taylor in there to break it up. I got to say, smart move by Taylor. That was devastating.
Taylor has no business being in the ring at that time. He's not the legal man. And look, George Ross is there, and he's doing nothing about it.
But here's the thing. He might be outside now, the tutelage of Glenn Spector, but Glenn Spector talked, I can only imagine, instilled
Don't you say it, Eamon. Don't you say he's taught him everything he knows.
Not everything he knows, but he told him, the rules are in many cases a suggestion for Glenn Spector. And Keegan Taylor.
There are things that Glenn Spector knows that Keegan Taylor can't even spell.
Wait, look out. What strength here. Quite literally in the ceiling.
Bev fighting through with almost stunner there. Rocking Kanaan Christopher. Oh, but Kanaan gets sent into his corner. He needs to make the tag.
And watch what happens when Glenn Spector gets in the ring. You'd think.
Spector knows he has Bev where he wants him.
You'd think that there was a tag.
Oh, wait, lands on his feet.
But,
there it is! And Glenn Spector begging off here on Keegan Taylor.
And look at the disrespect for Taylor.
Shots to the gut and a clothesline.
Something tells me that the big boss deserves this.
He deserves it. He's taught Taylor everything he knows, and this is how he thanks him.
Oh, look out. Numbers game here.
Keegan able to land on his feet. Kanaan trying to cover from behind. Oh! Collision with Spector. Miscommunication. Big clothesline with the arm trapped as well. Oh, and two for the price of one there. Cover on Christopher. Only two there.
Taylor is cooking, man. He wants to make a statement here tonight.
Oh, but keep an eye on Glenn Spector from behind. Referee George Ross losing a little bit control here. Wait, they're going to try for that neckbreaker powerbomb combination again. Oh!
Rare miscue, very rare miscue by the Troublemakers.
Keegan having it scouted and now eyeing up Spector. What can he have in mind? Comes charging. He's trying for that springboard. DDT! Tagging out of J-Bev.
We're going to see how much Bev has left. He took a lot of punishment earlier, but he's up top.
Big frog splash. Christopher just in to break it up in the nick of time.
It's really breaking down now. All four athletes in the ring.
Oh, Christopher taking Keegan out onto the apron. J-Bev fired up. Got that extra bit of energy, an extra bit in the tank.
And why isn't referee George Ross doing anything about this? This is getting out of control. What is he even in the ring for? Take control, Ross.
Oh, Christopher.
Oh, look out.
Gonna peel Bev off of Glenn Spector. Double team combination. Brainbuster. Running boot.
Bev's on Dream Street. Taylor might be fighting this one alone. The complexion of this tag matchup changing very quickly here.
Oh, God. Face first onto the knee of Spector. What are they thinking here? Oh, my God!
I have never seen that before. Funky flip lariat combination, and Taylor got smoked.
Oh, and Bev not in a good place here. combination there by the Troublemakers, and they secure the victory.
What type of ingenuity? What type of ingenuity have we just seen when Glenn Spector uses his own partner as a weapon?
One way or another, love them or hate them, the Troublemakers are going to continue to be a force in VCW.
Shut your mouth, LaMotta. Let Spector speak.
Taylor, there's only one way out of the Troublemakers, and it's in a body bag. And baby, that's just an
F-A-K-T fact.
Oh, my
This is
goodness.
not good. The matchup is over.
What do you mean it's not good?
Keegan,
He needs to be taught a
Keegan
lesson.
Taylor can barely stand. Wait! Beastman!
What?
Coming to the aid of Keegan Taylor.
What business does the Beastman have?
That's a hell of a reinforcement right there.
But what business does he have of getting in the way of family business?
I mean, maybe a sense of justice here. Beastman not going to sit idly by and let Keegan Taylor get picked apart.
Fellas, I got a feeling this is not the last we're going to see of this rivalry between Taylor, Beastman, and the Troublemakers.
What a great matchup there.
This night has been wild, guys. I'll tell you that.
Tons of great action so far. We want to thank everyone so far for joining us on IndyWrestling.us. Be sure, when talking about tonight's event, give us your thoughts by using the hashtag VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, we'll let you know that we have 50-50 available. The winner's take is up to $130. So make sure if you haven't got them yet, go get them now. This will be the main event of your first half. After that, we're going to take about a 15-minute intermission. Those guys will be selling through intermission. We will draw a winner before the second half of the show starts. So get your 50-50 tickets and take some money home with you. Concessions are available. There's pizza here back there as well. So make sure you get some concessions, fill yourself up. Merchandise available around the floor as well. Some of your favorite VCW stars will be out at intermission as well. You guys ready for your first half main event? This match is a 2 out of 3 falls match. To win the match, the victor must claim 2 falls. Falls can be by pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification. The man in charge, the Count, Mark Charles III. Introducing first.
As we get ready for what we hope to be a culmination of a competitive grudge that's been building here in VCW.
Oh, good grief. You have to be kidding me. Are you trying to tell me that we're going to force greatness like the Monarch, Clayton King, under the guidance of J.D. Sinclair, to get into the ring with this?
Not just this. That is Bearcat Keith Haught. And in the end of the day, Declan, they got to settle this score. A victory each for both of these competitors.
Yeah, we've seen these two collide with McMecken on 2 occasions. Like you said, this is the rubber match right here.
This is beneath the Monarch.
Oh, you mean 2024 Wrestler of the Year?
Just one of his many accolades.
Again,
wow.
again, I'm still looking for those award results. I don't remember a 2024 year-end awards for Victory Championship Wrestling, but Clayton Kling.
Well, there should have been. And if there was, the Monarch, Clayton King, under the tutelage of J.D. Sinclair and Sinclair Corporation, could have gotten him that. Maybe we should talk to VCW officials messing with someone that's looking like MJF cosplay.
Clayton King and J.D. Sinclair. I gotta say, I had my doubts about Sinclair's guidance of Clayton King, but quite the momentum Clayton King has been building here in Victory Championship Wrestling. Maybe to one day actually earn a Wrestler of the Year moniker.
One thing we know, Eamon, and Jack, you can attest to this as well. We've seen over the past several months at VCW, Clayton King is trying to use the Bearcat status, trying to use their status as one of the most established wrestlers in West Virginia in our home base to really make a name for himself, that being Clayton King. He wants to use Keith Haught as a real stepping stone.
Well, look, I don't mean to take anything away from the Bearcat, and certainly, as you can see in the ring, a man that size shouldn't have the ability to do some of the things that they can. But, again, to make Clayton King, and this is a 2 out of 3 falls match from what I understand?
Yes, that's how we're going to find a definitive winner here.
Why isn't a 1 fall good enough?
Because we've been there and done that with their 2 previous matches. We're going to find a definitive winner in this one as we get the collar and elbow tie up here.
Oh, big chop to Clayton King, but not phasing the Bearcat.
So let's back up for a second. Who won the first match?
That would be Clayton King.
Who won the second match?
That would be Keith Haught.
So now in this third match, somebody's going to have to win 2 out of 3 falls. The math isn't mathing.
I think you're trying to come up with some excuses for Clayton King.
There is no excuse for Clayton. See, now you have me all discombobulated, LaMotta.
King not being able to even phase the Bearcat here. Oh, but those bear paws are doing a number on Clayton King in the corner.
One thing we know for sure, Keith Haught is one of those heavy, heavy strikers like this right here.
Oh.
And
King.
that visual, the look on King's face tells you it's a rough day at the office.
Looks like he's choking on a lung.
He may be losing his lunch if this keeps up. And gentlemen, we know in a 2 out of 3 falls match, this first fall can really be pivotal to the result of this matchup. I think the argument could be made that the first fall could be the most important fall to determine the direction of this contest.
Well, it really sets the tone in the sense that if you get down on that first fall, you really are fighting from behind. And it really puts your game plan that you go into a matchup in a new category. Oh, wait, J.D. Sinclair!
And that's the wild card at ringside.
Behind the back of our official. Oh, right to the top of the head of Keith Haught. And King with the backstabber. No, not like this. Come on.
There it is. And Clayton King has won. He's won this match. He's won this match.
Well, he's won the first fall.
What are you talking about? He's won this match. It's finally been definitive. Clayton King has won.
Keith Haught.
Maybe academic, because Eamon, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith Haught's now behind the 8 ball.
I mean, in words for words, still reeling from that shot with that cane from J.D. Sinclair.
Wait a second. Do you mean to tell me that we're going to force Clayton King to...
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. We're going to force him all of a sudden to prove himself once again in this match?
King choking Haught here into the ropes. And again behind the back of our official. I mean, 1 fall, 2 falls, whatever you want to say should get the win here, Declan. I would imagine that Clayton King should be able to accomplish that without the help of J.D. Sinclair.
I don't know that he was really helping.
What a vertical leap.
I don't know that he was helping Clayton King. I think he was just helping Keith Haught try to get up. He was kind of tilted on those ring ropes.
Well, they are in a bad way right now because they're in the center of the ring. They're behind 1 fall, and they're going to have to try to fight their way out of this chin lock.
Well, look, this is just academic at this point. It's just a matter of time
Well, it's going to be a shame if the deciding factor in this matchup is J.D. Sinclair himself, because it's not the premise that this matchup was scheduled. As we're seeing the Bearcat showing their trademark tenacity. They have made a career out of resiliency, and that's what we're seeing here in Washington tonight.
And now, off the ropes goes Keith. Diving clothesline there. And I'm going to follow it up with a knee right to the chest. This could be it for King in this fall. Oh, and now Sinclair pulling the referee out of the ring.
Mark Charles has got to assert some authority here. The count is not somebody that's going to take any grief from J.D. Sinclair. I know that much. Somebody should tell J.D. Sinclair to get the hell out of here.
Nobody tells J.D. Sinclair what. J.D. Sinclair tells you what to do, Lamont. What on earth just happened?
I think Lamont.
What has happened?
I think he heard you.
Lamont, what did you do?
I'm endorsing Mark Charles III to get.
J.D. Sinclair is ejected from ringside.
See you later, pal. Have fun brushing the snow off of your car in the parking lot.
King tried for that backstabber again. And instead, Keith with a hold roll-up gets the fall on Clayton King.
Now this is just completely unfair. First of all, they remove J.D. Sinclair from Clayton King's corner, and now he loses that second fall because of the distraction. How's that justice, Zayne?
It's turnabout is fair play.
I didn't ask you, Lamata.
I would say it's turnabout is fair play.
I didn't ask you.
You did.
I guess I did. Never mind.
Well, the bottom line is here, this is the third fall. This is going to decide this matchup and ultimately decide this rivalry. We've talked about it for months and months that Clayton King has the potential to be a major star in VCW. We're going to find out if he gets on that path pending the results of this fall of this matchup.
Oh, King trying to talk some trash here to Keith Haught. I don't know if that's going to give him the results he wants. Is Haught repeated chops in the corner.
And Keith Haught needs to break that hold. He's in the ring ropes. Mark Charles isn't doing anything right now to advance his authority.
King able to block that shot, though. And now up into the second rope thinking, ooh, big double axe handle.
Right to the crown of the head. Nasty impact.
King, standing right on top now of Keith Haught.
And make
Can't
no
get
mistake,
distracted here by this audience, though.
Make no mistake, Keith Haught is a formidable opponent, but Clayton King has already beaten Keith Haught in this match.
And vice versa. You have to keep that in mind as well. King.
Side effect.
No.
Haught able to get the shoulder up there.
Well, this is one thing that Clayton King cannot do. You can't allow yourself to be frustrated. We know he's a young athlete, about a year and a half experience. You have to press forward here.
It just seems as though he's had to rebound off of his game plan that they clearly came into this matchup with.
Clayton King is wise behind his years.
Oh, sunset flip.
Up and over.
But can he take over the big Bearcat? It's going to be a struggle. Ain't able to budge Keith Haught. And instead, all that weight down onto the chest.
Remember I talked about Clayton King losing his lunch? I believe we're mere moments away from that potentially happening here.
Keith Haught.
That steak from Applebee's may end up all over the floor. Clayton King.
This is such an injustice to Clayton King. VCW officials have taken J.D. Sinclair out of this match. Clayton King looks to J.D. Sinclair for his guidance. And now they're forcing Clayton King to wrestle essentially back-to-back matches after he's already beaten Keith Haught.
Bearcat is rolling.
Big senton. Could this be it? Could Keith Haught seal the deal here? Only two. And Clayton King not just kicking out, but powering out. Oh, what happens when a Bearcat flies?
That's the MB Meteor. The MB Meteor could come crashing into Washington.
Tell me this is not going to happen, gentlemen.
If it does,
A man the size of Keith Haught going to the top rope.
Oh, King stopping Keith right in their tracks.
Yeah, they were ready to come crashing down, but Clayton King, give him credit, he had it scouted. It's dangerous here, Eamon.
Could be thinking superplex, but can he get Keith Haught over? Headbutt, rocking King. Oh no.
Look out!
Dangerous predicament here, big splash! And King.
No, not again.
I was going to say might be a splat on the mat, but Keith
What
Haught
are they thinking?
not done here.
They are putting this one away. They are making sure they're going to seal the rivalry.
Unbelievable.
Bearcats can fly, and Bearcats are victorious.
No!
The winner of the match, the Bearcat, Keith Haught!
I am stunned right now, gentlemen.
Keith Haught, the victor in the rivalry, comes from behind, 2 falls down, and stands atop Clayton King here. Big congratulations to the Bearcats.
I mean, give credit to Keith Haught. He did something that I didn't think that they were able to do. Not only beat Clayton King 1, 2, 3 one time in the ring, but to do it twice.
And hey, fellas, we've had so much fun so far, so much action so far, but I think we're going to go to intermission. So if you're joining us all across the IndyWrestling.us platforms, stay here. We're going to go to intermission, maybe get some pizza. We're going to enjoy ourselves, but don't go anywhere. We're going to be back. Second half action here in Washington for VCW. Fellas, we're not quite at intermission yet.
Still need to get Clayton King out of the ring before we can start the festivities. The pizza has to wait, Jim, unfortunately.
Damn it. Now, wait a minute. Mark Charles is the one that sent Sinclair to the back. Sinclair better be careful, man. I heard Mark Charles knows how to fight.
Do you see the size and the stature of J.D. Sinclair, a man of that integrity?
Well, I can tell you right now that Clayton King is worse for wear.
I think we need to get him some smelling salts or something.
This is so unfortunate. So unfortunate that a man of Clayton King's stature has to be treated and subjected to this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of VCW Fight Fire with Fire, and I haven't heard that song in a while. Not because I haven't watched the show.
Introducing first, from the Supreme Court, with over $1.5 billion in settlements and verdicts, he is the greatest attorney and pro wrestler on the planet. He is Foxcatcher, David Lawless.
You know, David Lawless is such a jerk. He makes Declan Finnegan seem tolerable. I'll tell you that much, man.
Completely inappropriate.
David Lawless has been very jovial this week. Says he's going to bring some executive order to VCW. What the hell does that mean?
It means that he's going to remove the corruption, the greed, the dishonesty, the graft. That's not only here in VCW, but in pro wrestling, period.
For you people who don't know who I am the Gavel David Lawless Esquire, the greatest attorney and professional wrestler in the world.
Undeniable.
And it's really nice to see you guys take a break from being unemployed to come out and support the volunteer fire department tonight. You know, I think volunteering is really important. You know, first I'd like to volunteer to take out that good-looking woman in the back after the show. And second, I want to volunteer to make sure that each and every one of you deadbeats pays your child support or you go to jail. Here's a little tip for free from the greatest lawyer in the world. When your 50-50 is paid with IOUs, you don't want to support that. So when I come back here again after beating my opponent, you will thank the gavel David Lawless Esquire, and you will know just why. Lawless is flawless. You're welcome, morons.
I wonder how many times the Gavels had to be pardoned over the years.
And his opponent.
Why do you have to go there?
Lamont, is there any truth to the rumors that this show needed to be moved to Pennsylvania in order not to cross state lines and violate your parole?
Let's go.
I can't hear you.
I'm unstoppable to the impact. From Buffalo, New York, weighing 205 pounds. Welcome back to VCW, the Rowdy Rebel, Colton Quinn.
Colton Quinn back here in Victory Championship Wrestling. You know, Colton, right before being knocked down, so to speak, with injury, Colton was on such a rise here in Victory Championship Wrestling, and now his first match back here in the company in a new year, 2025. He's healthy, he's healed up, and he's looking to get back on track to where he was in the ranks of this company.
Colton Quinn is really a young man that we've seen grow and evolve under the VCW banner. And when you and I were there, we've seen Colton Quinn go from those pre-show matches, you know, just trying to get an opportunity, just getting on the card. He's really evolved and grown into one of the true stalwarts of VCW.
Quinn, very young in his career, but has ton of upside, ton of prospect. And David Lawless looking to bring that all down crashing here. Collar and elbow tie up between both men. Lawless definitely going to have the power advantage over the smaller Colton Quinn.
Tell it like it is, Eamon. He's going to deliver some ring justice.
Justice is an interesting word. I mean, when his reign of terror, as VCW commissioner ended in that War Games, I mean, I think a lot of justice was restored in Victory Championship Wrestling, to say the least. But David Lawless, as much as a great attorney as he says he is, he also is a great professional wrestler.
You're not going to find a man in professional wrestling that has more integrity than David Lawless.
I'm not going to justify that claim with a response, but I'll tell you what, hate him or hate him, David Lawless in firm control of this matchup right now. You have to wonder, does Colton Quinn have any ring rust, and that could be a real factor here.
I mean, it's always difficult coming back from an injury and still getting on that same level, still having, you know, even the confidence to compete in that ring. And Colton, I think that, you know, his first major injury of his career, that is always something that's very jarring. And it's what you're saying, Jim, of that ring rust is definitely going to be tested here. Nice leapfrog by Quinn. Arm drag takedown. Falls it with another on David Lawless. And a drop kick.
2 feet firmly in the chest. Send the gavel scattering into the corner here. Colton Quinn going to try to put his foot on the gas.
Comes charging. Big splash in the corner. Quinn staying right on top of the gavel.
Up and over goes Quinn again.
Oh, into Gory right to the side of the head, and Lawless gets laid out here on the mat. Can Quinn capitalize?
Colton Quinn could be looking for a highlight reel moment here, gentlemen.
Eyeing up. Oh, tries for a roll through. But Lawless with the wherewithal, the smarts.
It's brilliance. It's brilliance is what it is. Not only is he a great legal mind, but he's a great professional wrestler on top of it.
Absolutely said, is one of the most resourceful athletes, ethical or not, is David Lawless. You have to give the devil his due. Should be noted, Eamon, that David Lawless, also recently returning from an injury, had a severe hernia, and unfortunately was able to recover to make it back in professional wrestling. Lateral press here.
Only 2.
Why do you refer to Lawless as the devil? Just because the man has a legal degree doesn't make him nefarious in any way, shape, or form.
Declan, have you ever had to work with a lawyer?
You might have to pretty soon if you keep it up, Eamon.
That's fair.
And I know exactly who to go to.
Oh!
Man, lower in the boom, base of the neck, pinpoint precision from the gavel there.
Speaking of which, I may have to seek out some legal support from Lawless because I don't like the way you're talking to me lately, Matta.
Kick out at 2 there.
Did not hook the leg, not enough body-on-body contact.
LaMotta, what are you so upset with me about so far this evening?
Your presence.
See, I'm going to have to see and consult with David Lawless about legals, business, slander, libel, vagrancy, all these charges are going
Quinn working his way out here. Look out.
Ooh, big back elbow.
Man, the gavel lowered the boom that time. This could be it.
Again, lateral press. No real hook of the leg. Lawless, as powerful in that ring as he is, you know, it's all about finishing the deal. And Lawless.
And the crowd is completely behind Lawless in this match.
I don't think you're catching what they're chanting. It sounds like Lawless, but I don't think I can say it on air.
Match 5 minutes.
Oh, Quinn able to get the boot up.
A lot of tenacity from the youngster Colton Quinn, looking for a successful return here.
Comes charging in the corner. Oh, Lawless just eats turnbuckle. And now Quinn again with the enziguri. Lawless rocked here, but the question is, has too much been taken out of Colton Quinn to capitalize and get that cover? It seems like it.
Yeah, referee George Ross laying down the count here. We're going to see who's going to have the advantage as this contest unfolds.
We're going to see if Ross can count to 10. My money's on no.
Well, he doesn't have to because both men back up to their feet here.
Quinn
getting the better of this exchange, Eamon, excuse me.
Shading blows here. Repeated shots now by Colton. Oh, fakes out Lawless. And now going to come charging again. Takes down the bigger Lawless with the clothesline. It's all what momentum can do for you in a matchup.
And what kind of competitor, it's clear that David Lawless has an issue with his leg. What kind of competitor goes after the leg like that?
All is fair in love and wrestling.
Well, he was clear to compete, so it's all fair, pal.
Oh, big drop kick in the corner. Rocking Lawless, and now Quinn right into a cover. Can he capitalize? Hook of the leg. Only 2, Lawless.
And kind of a careless cover. You got to do more than that to try to pin David Lawless.
Absolutely.
Well, quite frankly, Colton Quinn, as has Lawless, they've sustained a lot of damage in this matchup.
But Lawless has much more in the tank. He's going to brainstorm. He's going to come up with something.
Tries for that roll through again. Oh, this time Lawless catches.
Man, had it scouted.
Fireman's carrying onto that knee, in that knee brace. Cover. No, Colton Quinn still has fight left in him.
A lot of grit and a lot of tenacity, a lot of toughness from this young man.
See, I agree. It's questionable count on George Ross's part. Seemed like it was pretty slow.
Well, I would take it up with senior official Josh Main, but he's not here tonight. Oh, wait, Colton trying it. Third time the charm. Hits the stunner.
Could be all here.
And Colton Quinn.
Wow.
God bless America.
Winner of the match, the Rowdy Rebel, Colton Quinn.
A comeback for Colton Quinn leads to a victory. And that momentum, he can maybe start building again here in Victory Championship Wrestling.
With a renewed sense of confidence, he is healthy, he is determined. Could the year of 2025 be the year of that young man, one Colton Quinn, here in Victory Championship Wrestling?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight here at Victory Championship Wrestling VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2. We still have more action to come, including our main event for the VCW Heavyweight Championship when Cowpoke Paul defends against Gory and the Beastman. That is going to be can't miss.
That's a barn burner main event, Eamon.
$155.
As we get down with our 50-50 raffle here, I would also like to mention that you can subscribe to IndyWrestling.us to get the full catalog of Victory Championship Wrestling events from the very beginning. Tons of great action, tons of great exciting wrestlers and talent that are all at your fingertips with a subscribe to IndyWrestling.us. Also, all of your thoughts on tonight's event, we can would love to hear from you with the hashtag VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2 all across social media. Get the word out. Let people know that you are checking out.
Can I tell you some of the people that are watching us?
Absolutely.
We got Carrie, we got Kirsten, we got Joe Hansen, we got Nikita. They're all tuning in.
We are so thankful for everyone joining us here. IndyWrestling.us.
I mean, if you've enjoyed the show so far, this just scratches the surface of, the library of events of VCW.
Still concessions available at the back. If you haven't got them yet, make sure you get back there. The pizza is tremendous. I just had some myself.
Speaking of our concessions, as Matt's telling our live audience here, I thought the pizza was on you, Deck. What are you doing?
And I thought I told you I am not your lackey.
How else did you get here?
I drove my car.
Jim, I think that was a verbal contract. I think you may have to contact David Lawless.
That's a real good point, Eamon.
Your next matchup is a tag team contest scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit.
As Jim LaMotta will tell you, the criminal justice system in the state of Pennsylvania is no joke.
Speaking of criminals,
Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by Cena. Introducing first, he is the reigning and defending VCW Brass Knuckles Champion from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 230 pounds, Mad Dog Myers. His tag team partner, he is one half of the VCW Tag Team Champions. Fighting from behind the dumpster at the Avalanche in Morgantown, West Virginia, weighing 235 pounds. He is the stepdad of the Indies, Marcus Twist. Together, they are Worst Generation.
Draped in gold, Mad Dog Myers and Marcus Twist, known as the Worst Generation. This new unit that is formed has become immediately dominant here in Victory Championship Wrestling and is a take no prisoners squad looking to cause absolute destruction.
Well, these two are just indicative of society itself. We've gotten to the point where enough's enough, and we have to take matters into our own hands. The fact that I'm sitting next to you two gentlemen should be proof of that.
Introducing first, from Burbank, California, weighing 175 pounds, Jasper Allen Ziegenbach Jazz! His tag team partner from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 225 pounds, the Mindy Racer, Remy LaVey!
And a lot of bad blood for sure in this one, as Remy LaVey, the Mind Eraser, and his long history with Mad Dog Myers is part of the origin here in Victory Championship Wrestling. Remy coming in here with a little bit of backup to deal with the Worst Generation, that being Jasper Alvin Ziegenbach, otherwise known as Jazz.
The story of the origin has gone back to almost the inception of VCW, and there is still unresolved tension between Remy LaVey and Mad Dog Myers.
And the Worst Generation getting the jump here on Jazz and LaVey. Oh, but getting the advantage here and sending Marcus Twist and Mad Dog Myers reeling. Keep in mind, Remy LaVey, a former VCW heavyweight champion. In many ways, Mad Dog Myers, incredibly crucial in Remy LaVey capturing that championship in that first place. Remy bringing Mad Dog Myers, oh, big stunner! Remy LaVey bringing Mad Dog Myers into the origin as almost his attack dog.
And we've seen Mad Dog Myers evolve as an athlete to perhaps the best we've ever seen in his entire career. Of course, that's why he is the current Brass Knuckles champion.
Absolutely, recently winning in a one-night tournament. Myers looking, I think, for success of his own. I think, oh wait, Jazz springing off of LaVey. Myers, you know, his mission in VCW for the last year or so as part of the origin has really been to have Remy's back more than anything. It's not been for his own goals and his own, you know, trajectory, that's the deal that they made, so to speak. But Myers, in the worst way, turning his back on Remy LaVey and aligning himself with Saturday Night Special, the VCW Tag Team Champions, to form this unit of the Worst Generation. Myers now looking to be the leader in his own wrecking force here. Oh, Jazz! Nice spinning heel kick.
Jasper, he's an enthusiastic young athlete, has a boxing background, so look for him to throw those hands.
Irish whip now, reversal there by Marcus Twist. Springboard off the ropes, nice back elbow. The sweet and sassy son of the Independents is getting rocked here. Off the ropes goes Jazz. Crossover. And gets the extra bit of momentum to take down Marcus Twist with that clothesline.
You know, Deck, you were talking about criminal records, and I guarantee you Marcus Twist does not have a clean record.
I don't know why you're defaming this man. Yes, they're part of the Worst Generation, but you just have to start to take matters into your own hands and do what you need to do, because nobody's going to look out for you. You got to look out for number one, and that's exactly what Twist and Myers have done.
Yes, well, ironically, it's strength in numbers with Worst Generation. DD Vice, along with senior official Josh Main, they are boycotting us here tonight. I mean, they've refused to attend this event.
I'm sure DD took him to the local Applebee's. Maybe Josh Main can get some food in his stomach for once.
I have it on good
Maybe
authority.
We can stop him from being so moody.
I have it on good authority that some other people didn't even want to come tonight.
Wait, look out.
Oh, Myers. Just really working down on Jazz here, both physically but also mentally here, just showing that they control this ring. Tagging now to Marcus Twist.
Smart tag wrestling. Those frequent tags, you're going to keep Jasper off balance.
Twist, such a devious, disgusting individual.
Yeah, let's not forget Twist, one half of the VCW Tag Team Champions.
And in a way, you know, Remy LaVey and the Origin, as desperately as they may be, they had a mission statement of dominance in Victory Championship Wrestling. That might be in the back of the mind of the Worst Generation, but they just get enjoyment out of punishing people, out of tormenting individuals. As now this woman...
Yeah, Gina, we didn't know who she was for several months.
But had been proven to be quite the force in aid of Mad Dog Myers. Twist.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Eamon.
No, go ahead.
Well, one thing is for sure, that Gina and the entirety of Worst Generation, including senior official Josh Main, they have put this organization on notice.
And now what are they thinking here? A throwback! And
that was painful. That's what that was.
Only a 2 count, though. Jazz might be in a worse for wear position here, but Mad Dog Myers still not able to seal the deal. Big snap suplex goes back into, I was going to say for a cover, but no, it looks like a choke.
I mean, you can say that he didn't seal the deal, but it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before these two finally take what's theirs, rightfully theirs, and take the authority to take control for the Worst Generation.
Jazz desperately needs to make a tag here to Remy LaVey. Jazz has been on the receiving end most of this matchup. Remy LaVey relatively fresh. Ooh, big backbreaker there. And Twist has something in mind. Big elbow drop.
A lot of tag team continuity from Worst Generation.
I mean, you're seeing a clinic in tag team wrestling right now.
Absolutely, isolating the opponent.
And that's, also what Marcus Twist and DD Vice, even DD might be, not being here tonight, bring to the table for the Worst Generation. For, the entire run of VCW, they've been calling themselves the best tag team in this company. Finally, after that ladder match against the Wayward Sons, they were able to capture the VCW Tag Team Championships and prove that they are the top team in this company. And I guarantee you, they don't want to relinquish or give up those titles anytime soon. Marcus Twist taking a little too long, though, to get into this cover. And again, very lackadaisical.
I know that Jasper is a young athlete, only about a year or so under his belt, but you cannot treat an opponent like that and expect to be successful. these youngsters that get invited here to try to make a name for themselves in VCW, they aren't just picked out of a hat. You know, I mean, Jasper has shown a lot of potential. That's why he's here, quite frankly.
Jasper trying to fight with forearm shots. Eyeing up Marcus Twist, who he has reeling. Could he be looking to dish out a death nail shot? Shot to the gut instead, and now DDT plants Marcus right in the center of the ring. Trying to decide if he wants to go for a cover. Should he get a tag? I don't know what the best strategy is when Jazz has been worked over so hard in this matchup.
I know what the best strategy is. Jasper needs to get to the ring and make that tag. He's been in this match pretty much exclusively the whole time, and that's because Twist and Mad Dog have cut off that ring brilliantly.
Oh, Twist trying to grab a hold of the foot, but Jazz able to fight free. Tagging to Remy LaVey. The freshman is in and is going right at Mad Dog Myers. A lot of pent-up frustration there.
A lot of personal animosity. Because let's not forget, Eamon, in that hellacious War Games match a few years ago, it was Remy LaVey that saved Mad Dog Myers.
Absolutely. Remy. Interesting to see this audience in Victory Championship Wrestling really get behind Remy LaVey. That's not something I've seen in a good while. Big clothesline.
Well, Remy LaVey has to do something to capitalize. He's definitely the fresh man in this ring right now.
Eyeing up Marcus Twist. Marcus able to block. Full Nelson.
Numbers game here. The Mind Eraser going to try to fight out of it.
Oh, but maybe using his opponent to his advantage. There's the...
That was a sling blade.
Sling blade, yes. On Marcus Twist, but also planning Mad Dog Myers cover. Interesting positioning. Myers being the legal man and Remy LaVey having to go over Marcus Twist to be able to get that cover.
That slight reprieve could have been what allowed Mad Dog to kick out there.
Tagging back into Jazz. I don't know if Jazz has built up enough of that energy back, but possible double team. What are they thinking? Have them draped over the second rope. Double DDT. Planning the worst generation of the mat cover. Oh, and wait a minute.
Oh, come on, Gina.
Gina was just telling Mark Charles that I don't think Mad Dog was the legal man in the ring.
Well, she has overstayed her welcome here on the apron. Remy LaVey.
Overstayed her welcome? She's showing the referee how to do his job. That's not her responsibility.
Jasper got clobbered from behind.
Oh, Myers. Double underhook.
Yes. And now, finally, the worst generation.
Twist. Now with Jazz up onto the shoulder. And oh, my God.
Oh, man. Jasper got
spiked. That's it.
The winners of the match, Marcus Twist, Mad Dog Myers, Worst Generation!
Another victory for the Worst Generation, but oh my God, they're not done here. More destruction. Wait.
Oh no.
Wow.
Slam. Wow. We wondered who this woman was for a long time.
Oh. The difference, man, I don't even want to know what.
You want to know what adjective describes Gina? Violent.
Absolutely violent.
We've seen a lot of very talented females come through the doors of VCW. The most impactful, maybe that woman right there.
I'd use another adjective. I'd say brilliant. It was because of her and her guidance to tell Mark Charles how to do his job that the Worst Generation was able to capitalize. Thank goodness for Gina. And thank goodness for the Worst Generation.
Marcus Twist, Mad Dog Myers, your victors here tonight.
Make no mistake about it, Eamon. Worst Generation, they are marking their territory in VCW.
You have to just do what you have to do. You have to look out for number one.
Valiant effort by Jazz, but Remy LaVey I got to imagine still having unfinished business with the worst generation is going to have to go back to the drawing board, so to speak.
And maybe if LaVey would maybe adopt some of the worst generation's attitude about looking out for number one and only looking out for himself, he might be able to capitalize. You know, LaMotta, you do you.
Still causing
God knows no one else will.
VCW,
you say something?
even in Washington. Want to let you ladies and gentlemen know about something special here we have coming up. If you're a fan of professional wrestling, you obviously know who Bruno Sammartino is, right? You're familiar with Stan the Lariat Hansen maybe as well, right? Those guys had one of the biggest rivalries back in the 1970s. On March the 15th, Saturday night, we're going to be in Ross Township. Pros of Wrestling brings you a tribute to Studio Wrestling and Bruno Sammartino. Bruno Sammartino's family will be there. Stan the Lariat Hansen will be a special guest, and he will have an interview segment with WWE's Corey Graves. Check it out on Facebook and all the social media. Pros of Wrestling, if you're not following it. We have 7 great matches that are coming for you that night. Wrestlers from all over the world will be in Pittsburgh. It's at the Ross Township Community Recreation Center. Put it on your calendars now. Saturday night, March the 15th. Pros of Wrestling. Follow it on social media if you're not following it yet. Sound good, guys? So how many of you guys are going to come out for that?
Nobody cares how many of them are going to be coming out for that.
Oh, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's Betty Frenzy again.
It sure is. Are you not going to open up the ropes for me? That seems very rude.
You're lucky I'm a gentleman.
Thank you so much. I just thought our next competitor, he's ready to come out here. So how about a little less of the talky talk and let me introduce our next competitor with a little more razzmatazz.
Razzmatazz?
Thank you. Hey, wait, hang on. Give me that mic, that one's better.
You know, her voice could break glass.
Thank you very much. All right, this next competitor is the greatest wrestling podcaster in the world.
It's a lot of competition.
He's worked with such legends as Jake the Snake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He is the voice of a generation, Marcus D'Angelo.
Well, Betty Frenzy introducing Marcus D'Angelo.
I prefer Dominic D'Angelo. Hello to Dom out there watching us.
Shout out.
He's much more ethical than his brother. But that glove that you're seeing Marcus D'Angelo sport right there was gifted to him legitimately by Ted DiBiase.
You know, I heard these folks talking about Bruno Sammartino, Stan Hansen. You guys get to see a real legend here tonight, the greatest wrestling podcaster of all time. Isn't that right?
That is right. And, you know, you've stepped out of the studio. You've stepped into the ring. You've been making the rounds in the area. What brings you to VCW?
Betty, make no mistake. I make way too much money doing my podcasting to ever stop and do wrestling part-time or full-time. It's a part-time gig for me, folks, because I just take stuff over, whether I'm full-time, part-time, doesn't matter. I've always been good at everything I've ever done, and wrestling is no exception. I'm coming to VCW to take it over just like I've taken over all the other promotions in Pittsburgh and the surrounding area.
Well, it looks like these people, I know they don't deserve the fight that you're about to give, but let's see, who are you going to be fighting tonight?
Well, tonight, Betty, I want to issue an open challenge. I will take on anybody in that locker room. I don't care if it's Glenn Spector. I don't care if it's Kane and Christopher. I don't care if it's Beastman. They step into this ring with me. We all know what the outcome is going to be. It's going to be them looking at the lights.
So it looks like we got to bring them on out.
LaMotta, is this your debut?
I would accept this challenge, but by the time I got to the ring, the show would be over, so I'm going to have to stay here with you guys. I can't leave you unattended. I can't do that to Eamon.
Why did me?
Well, look. What doesn't kill you disappoints us, LaMotta.
Sure does. And I'll tell you who doesn't disappoint. Our boy, Jean-Paul the Miserable.
Introducing from Paris, France, weighing 402 baguettes, he is the master mime, Jean-Paul Le Miserable.
I mean, it's not Beastman, it's not Glenn Spector, but Jean-Paul Le Miserable, the master mime, is a beast of an opponent in his own personal way.
The last time we saw Jean-Paul, he was kicking ass in that Fans Bring the Weapons match.
You know, I know this is Fight Fire with Fire 2, but I hope Jean-Paul is really smart about putting out that cigarette.
I will say that smoking is a terrible habit.
But
my dad, Mr. Braddock, would disagree, but smoking is a terrible habit.
How rude is it to crush a man's cigarette out right in front of him?
Well, they're going to fight about it because here we go. Marcus D'Angelo making his VCW debut.
Well, I will say, if he is the #1 world-renowned wrestling podcaster, he's showing he can talk pretty well. I will say that.
Do you know who else could talk very well? Jean-Paul.
I'm not as versed in his speaking abilities.
Well, he's been trained. He's been trained in the ancient art of mime, going back years and years and years.
Nice leapfrog there by Jean-Paul. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Some psychological warfare, I think.
Jean-Paul can't get through that door. He can't.
When wood meets fist, it's never a good idea.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even see Jean-Paul put that wall up. It's his prerogative to be able to do this.
I wish I knew what the hell was going on here.
Mr. Ross, tear down that wall.
You want George Ross to do anything that involves manual labor? Oh, what's Jean-Paul? Oh, does he have his bowling ball back out? Is that the bowling ball, Eamon?
It's going for the spin. Hits it!
This is tremendous.
You know, fellas, I legitimately have a degree in communications, but right now I'm speechless.
That's the
Much
best
like
news I've heard
Jean-Paul
all
and his
night.
Man, hot shot. Marcus D'Angelo shutting down Jean-Paul and Miserable right there.
If he had a voice beforehand, it would have been gone just there.
I think as much as Marcus D'Angelo speaks after the action we've seen, he might be speaking in a higher octave. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Marcus staying right on top of Jean-Paul and Miserable.
D'Angelo's is no slouch, a student of the ICW Wrestling Academy. I'm sorry, the ICWA Wrestling Academy.
And now
look at the paint brushing that he's putting Jean-Paul through.
backing now. Jean-Paul into the corner, and it's raining down on those boots. First bit of momentum here for Marcus D'Angelo.
But what makes Jean-Paul so difficult as an opponent is you have absolutely no idea what he's going to pull out of his bag of tricks. And look, he has that. What just happened? Oh, he has a blindfold.
Blindfolded him.
That's a blindfold. Hit him. Hit him. Oh, he took that blindfold off, and now he knows that it's George Ross.
Wait, schoolboy, roll up. Only two there.
I hate to be, particular here, be a stickler on details, but George Ross is wearing vertical stripes. Jean-Paul wearing horizontal stripes.
Fair point. Marcus in for the cover after that neck breaker, only two. Jeez, this match. Marcus staying right on top of Jean-Paul here.
It's not I'm the one that's confused. I knew exactly what was happening. But D'Angelo was blindfolded, and he went to hit George Ross.
Again, series of punches there by Marcus. It's a great right hand.
5 minutes have gone by the match. 5 minutes.
And it's been really a night of young up-and-coming talents looking to impress. And with, ooh, wait. Only 2, kick out, but good hook of the leg there by Marcus D'Angelo.
You know, Eamon, I mentioned earlier that Ted DiBiase gifted that glove from the Mid-South days to Marcus D'Angelo. What do you think the $1 Million Man would think of the mime?
I think that everybody has a price.
There we go.
Why do you think I'm sitting next to you?
Oh, clothesline duck. Marcus plants him with a spine buster.
Planted John Paul right there. 2.5.
Lamont, you brought up an excellent point.
Thank you.
You know, I have all the respect in the world for Ted DiBiase and the legacy of those that came before us, but just because he was gifted this glove, what gives D'Angelo the right to use this in an actual match?
Well, right now he's using it to try to asphyxiate John Paul.
I think that's an international object of some sort.
Almost a version of the $1 Million Dream here. Jean-Paul, wait.
Jean-Paul, climbing out of that. And
oh, no, he took that rope and he's tying him up. It's an illegal choke.
George Ross has to do something. He's using that rope.
Oh, John Paul able to fight free and use that turnbuckle to his advantage.
Well, thank goodness, since Jean Paul was turning blue, choking the airway.
And now trying to go back in for more, but Jean Paul, ooh, big insecurity right to the back of the head. Oh, and the straps down. Clear sign in wrestling that he means business. Big DDT.
That's the Memphis Mime right there.
No, Marcus still able to get a shoulder up.
Here's what makes the Mime so difficult to face, because there's just a matter of time before he pulls something out of his repertoire.
Now,
and you can see him looking around. He has an idea. He's brainstorming.
Now going to send Marcus up into the top turnbuckle. What could he be thinking?
The closest thing LaMotta comes to brainstorming is a light drizzle.
Out onto the floor. Could that be?
Well, is this a table?
Some weapon of some sort.
Oh, he's setting up.
Yeah, he's
right. Setting up the table. Oh. He's putting that table in position, and now it's just a matter of time. Nighty-night, Mr. D'Angelo.
For some reason, I'm not exactly seeing that, but...
Oh! And the table explodes in half!
Marcus using it to his advantage. Cover, hook of the leg.
That is it. That's not fair.
The winner of the match, Marcus D'Angelo.
Well, with Jean Paul introducing the table into the matchup.
And D'Angelo just used that table to his advantage.
A vicious display by Marcus D'Angelo, picking up the victory here.
Well, we know he's going to be talking about this victory. Marcus D'Angelo successful in his VCW debut.
And poor Jean Paul, he has the splinters in his back from that table. But the crowd still loves him.
How could you not love Jean Paul Miserol?
He's a genius.
Finally, something you and I agree on. And not a word had to be spoken from Jean Paul to win us both over.
You should take some wisdom from Jean Paul.
You guys having fun so far?
And speak less.
You got enough in you for two
and
more
be seen
matches?
less.
How about a ladies match?
Oh.
What?
Over the table?
What on earth just... He tripped over the table.
You always clean things up.
And D'Angelo should at least have to clean up his mess.
And janitor extraordinaire, Mark Charles III.
Give it up for Mark Charles III.
From the best in the business.
For cowbell. I heard that over here.
Hell yeah. The count
Your next
by
match
his
scheduled
t-shirt.
for one fall with a 15-minute time limit.
As we get underway with more action here tonight, Fight Fire with Fire 2.
Introducing first.
Oh, we're in for a treat now, gentlemen.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, with a body count well into the triple digits, the Savage Lexus Synn!
She is an absolute carnivore. The fiercest female in Pittsburgh wrestling anywhere. I don't give a damn what your alphabet letters are or your organization. She will fight anyone at any time. The bottom line is she is dangerous. She is a true force in this sport, and she is still very, very young in her career.
Lexus Synn has always been a tough, hard knocks competitor, and recently has been very crucial in aiding Glenn Spector and the Troublemakers. But singles action in mind for Lexus Synn here tonight, as she's taking on another returning competitor here in Victory Championship Wrestling.
For my money, pound for pound, Lexus Synn is the most exciting
From the
female wrestler
welcome
in wrestling
back to
today.
VCW, the Dark Angel, Dani, Jacx!
Dani Jacx, another competitor, much like Colton Quinn, as you mentioned, Jim, who had been working their way up on our pre-show events, continually impressing Victory Championship Wrestling management. And it will be a tough test for Dani Jacx staring across the ring from somebody like Lexus Synn.
LaMotta, make yourself useful and tell us a little bit about Lexus Synn's background in combat sports.
She's been training in Muay Thai out of Wheaton, West Virginia for several years. Just recently, she made her debut with, man, she looks fierce. I got nervous.
You okay there, Jim?
She's so damn scary.
Dani Jacx, not intimidated, it seems, in the early goings here with Lexus Synn. And Dani Jacx, has always been the smaller competitor in a matchup here in Victory Championship Wrestling. I don't think there's ever been a case where that's not been what the size discrepancy has been, but has always been able to overcome it, has never been intimidated.
And there you're seeing the height advantage right there, because that allowed Lexus Synn to slap on that headlock, take control, working the wrist lock here. As I was saying, she recently made her Renegade Wrestling Alliance debut from our friends over in West Newton. You can see them on IndyWrestling.us as well. She is blazing a path across the independent circuit, especially throughout the tri-state area, and wherever she goes, Lexus Synn has become the top female force. We're going to figure out just who is that top female in VCW in this matchup.
Absolutely. Dani Jacx going to come charging in the corner, gets the leg up, and now Snapmare takedown over on Alexis. Boot right to the small of the back. Very nicely done. Going to come charging and drills her with that kick.
What a penalty kick right there. And to your point, Eamon, yes, Dani Jacx has been the natural underdog throughout the majority of her career, but one thing we've never seen her do is back down, and she's not doing it here either.
Oh! Lexus Synn using the ropes to her advantage.
I mean, credit to Dani Jacx. She seems like a very feisty competitor, but you heard the fear that Lexus Synn strikes in men, like Jim LaMotta. So
I would not want to be on the bad side of Lexus Synn. I'm going to admit that freely.
And Dani Jacx in worse for wear here after colliding with the ring post on the outside, and Lexus Synn rolling Dani into the ring to take advantage. Cover, hook of the leg, only two. There's
Oh,
a
man.
scrappiness just mounting on Dani Jacx, pounding in with shots.
I'm not sure if Dani Jacx had any way to protect herself there. She's taking those mounted punches. That gives all the leverage to Lexus Synn to rain down those shots.
Tremendously dangerous when Lexus Synn is in this position. Just being able to take control.
It's really her forte in this. You know, very much a mixed martial arts
Yeah,
background.
one of that Muay Thai background does have to do with leverage of raining down punches and shots.
Well, once you get your opponent down to the ground, now all of a sudden it opens up a brand new dynamic for Lexus Synn.
Oh, and now that boot right to the back of the head of Dani Jacx.
And look at the angle. She was using the bottom of that boot to scrape the back of the skull of Dani Jacx there.
Quite the rugged individual.
Lexus Synn is just scary. Just listen to this. Just listen.
Oh, my God, right to the ribs. Those boots, Lexus Synn using to her advantage. And talking some trash here at Dani Jacx. Dani Jacx definitely in worse for wear.
I don't know that it's talking trash. It's just explaining the reality of the situation to Dani Jacx. She's in a bad way right now, and Lexus Synn can't be held responsible for what's going to happen.
Back into the cover. Very lackadaisical. Was a bit of some pressure down on the shoulder, but not enough that you would normally get from that hook of the leg, and that's where maybe Lexus's inexperience can come into play at times.
Lexus Synn just bullies opponents inside that squared circle.
Ooh, try for a kick. Dani Jacx able to roll through. Drop kick, able to take Lexus Synn at least down onto her knees into that second rope.
Dani Jacx is going to have to use that speed to try to stick and move here. Cat and mouse.
Big Tiger feint kick. Catching Lexus Synn right at the side of the head, getting a boot in for extra good measure.
She might have caught her in the forehead there, even. I couldn't quite tell.
And now
this may be the one reprieve that Dani Jacx has to take control of this matchup.
And the question is, can she take advantage? Is Lexus Synn reeling against the turnbuckle? But a lot of damage has been done to Dani Jacx. Those boots.
You know, don't forget, gentlemen, we haven't even discussed this yet, but because of her affiliation with the Troublemakers.
Tried for a tornado, but Lexus Synn able to block.
Yeah, that was pure power.
You are not going to be able to muscle Lexus Synn like that.
As I was saying, because of her affiliation with the Troublemakers and the tutelage of Glenn Spector, even when she gets in a compromising position, I would not count Lexus Synn out at all.
Well, it's very rare that Lexus Synn is ever in a compromising spot.
Kick out at 2 by Jacx.
She really dominates the vast majority of the time she's in the ring.
Well, of course she does. Look at the size. Look at the size and look at the training, the expertise, that mixed martial arts background that she always has an opportunity to fall back on. That's what makes this competitor so dangerous in the ring.
And now with a hold of the fingers here of Dani Jacx, bringing her back up to her feet.
Yeah, that digit manipulation is just nasty.
Knees are right into the jaw, and Dani Jacx absolutely limp in the center of the ring.
Dani Jacx is in a bad way right now.
Lexus Synn.
I think she's just being physically overwhelmed.
Well, of course she is.
Trying to.
And look, credit to Dani Jacx.
Oh, try for that kick again. Dani Jacx able to duck through. Grabs a hold, takes Lexus Synn down into a cover, hook of the leg.
No! What an upset!
That may be the
match. The Dark Angel, Dani Jacx!
Just one thing like that, one momentum shift, one ability to get someone's shoulders down to the mat, and Dani Jacx able to take the victory.
That may be the biggest upset we've seen in VCW history.
I certainly didn't see that coming at all. Credit to Dani Jacx. She was definitely on the defense for the majority of that match. And then out of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought that Lexus Synn had this one in the bag, and it just didn't happen. It takes just 3 seconds.
Lexus Synn frustrated. But Dani Jacx, your victor here.
Let's go, Lexus!
Took the eye off the ball for just a moment, and Lexus Synn is going to have to.
You know what that just proved, Damon? anything can happen here tonight, including in our main event when the VCW Heavyweight Championship is on the line.
Absolutely, and we're just moments away from that, fans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for being a great crowd tonight. We really appreciate you guys coming out, supporting a good cause, supporting here the South Franklin Volunteer Fire Department. All the guys here from the fire department, stand up. You guys deserve a hand too. Thank you for having us tonight. We appreciate all of your efforts tonight. Everybody who bought tickets, everybody who bought merchandise, everybody who bought 50-50, everybody who bought concession stands, we thank you for supporting a good cause. Thank you to all of the guys too who are part of the fire department, past, present, and those coming down the line. These guys are real heroes. They put their lives on the line every day, so thank you. We appreciate it.
And thank you to all of us who are tuning in to watch
You guys got enough in you for
VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2.
You got enough in you for your main event. Your main event tonight is a three-way dance for the VCW Heavyweight Championship. The referee is George Ross.
Ugh. The worst.
Introducing first.
The ominous sounds echoing through South Franklin Fire Department for the first of two challengers.
Representing the culmination and evil ways from Hawkins Marsh, the New Age Plague, Gory!
For 20 years, Gory has been one of the fiercest forces in Pittsburgh professional wrestling.
One of the most impressive things about Gory is just his vast experience. You would never guess to look at a man like Gory and expect to see the experience that he has. But you're right, LaMotta. He's been in the business what seems like forever.
Made his debut in 2004.
Quite the dangerous individual, but this man just as dangerous.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
Lord!
Darkest West Virginia, weighing in tonight at 475 pounds, King Kong Husk Beastman.
Just 3 weeks ago, gentlemen, that man right there was in Corrigan Hall, the Japanese Madison Square Garden, bleeding buckets for Big Japan Pro Wrestling. He competed in 3 matches in one night, and he shook the whole damn world. Not only was he successful in Japan 3 weeks ago, he's already scheduled to make a return trip to Big Japan Pro Wrestling this summer.
I had people texting me out of the blue saying, have you seen this monster? The stuff that he was doing in Big Japan Wrestling? And the world might not know the savageness of Beastman, but West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Victory Championship Wrestling have done it for a long time.
Heavyweight champion from Dry Rock, Wyoming, weighing 175 pounds, the leader of the Cowpoke posse, Cowpoke Paul!
Jim, I have to estimate, in the short time that Cowpoke Paul has been Victory Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, this has to be his toughest test to date.
No doubt about it. The championship is in some serious jeopardy. One of the very few things that Gory hasn't accomplished in that 20-year career, is winning gold in VCW. That means me tonight.
And look, the crowd seems to be behind Cowpoke Paul, but don't fall for what you see as authenticity. If you remember, Cowpoke Paul has a lot to thank George Ross for. If you remember, Cowpoke Paul has that championship belt in his hand, in large part, I think, to what George Ross did.
Are you running for office?
Does Josh Main have you on the payroll at this point?
Because you're certainly talking out of both sides of your neck.
I am just telling it like it is.
Of course, Beastman, a former VCW Heavyweight Championship himself.
And a really sad situation of how that championship was taken from Beastman, with Patrick Hayes cashing in his trophy, and after Beastman had already waged war in War Games.
I mean, Beastman is a scary individual to begin with, but now he looks like he's unhinged. Swinging that belt around. The match hasn't even had an opportunity to start yet. I don't know how you get, well, and again, it's George Ross. What am I thinking? How do you get control? Well, the first thing you do is get rid of Ross.
Gory throwing Ross back into the ring to try to get some semblance of order and get that title out of the hands of Beastman.
Hey, fellas, you see all those scars on the back of the Beastman? That's the wounds of war from that international tour over New Year's Eve.
When you know, the dangerous environment that is Big Japan Wrestling, there is no way you don't leave with those scars. There's no way that you don't leave
those scars,
a tougher individual.
Those scars are souvenirs you never lose.
Absolutely.
And the Beastman's just...
It seems like, and on the outside, it looked like Gory and Paul were strategizing a little bit. And wait, I think Paul might have left Gory out to dry here.
That's exactly what the man does. Everybody thinks he's his crowd favorite.
Well, we got a bell. We're ready to go.
Gory trying to slam the Beastman. Oh, and a big headbutt rocking the New Age Plague.
And let's not forget, gentlemen, it was just a few short months ago where we saw the Beastman and Gory, these two men in the ring, and they did things all around the Meccan Arena what on earth?
They didn't do that. I could say that's a Cowpoke Paul special.
What is Cowpoke Paul thinking?
The Blue Ribbon Wrestler.
Why would you do this to the Beastman?
I mean, Cowpoke Paul has tamed some beasts in his day. But the Beastman is a whole nother kind of animal. Cowpoke Paul now mounting punches.
Toughness, grit, and tenacity define the career of Cowpoke Paul. He's won championships all around the East Coast. Recently competed for OVW down in Louisville, has competed for NWA Exodus in Cleveland, a former Rise Grand Champion out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and of course, the current Victory Championship Wrestling title holder.
Don't forget that long undefeated streak he had here in Victory Championship Wrestling. Cowpoke Paul has proven that it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Not letting up on Beastman here, and that's exactly the right strategy for the VCW Heavyweight Champion. Now going to come charging off the ropes. Oh, Beastman!
That is a bulldozer of a human being right there.
Just one shoulder tackle immediately stops the momentum of Cowpoke Paul, and I think Gory going to let Paul take the punishment here.
Well, of course. Wouldn't you, Eamon?
Big shot, rocking Paul. Oh, going to try to...
Yeah, Gory was trying to change levels to get with those body shots.
It's so difficult, even one-on-one, dealing with someone like the Beastman. I think Paul and Gory got to put it to a side, at least for the moment.
This may be what they have to do.
Tries for an Irish whip. Even two men not able to whip off the Beastman. Beastman now comes charging. Oh, sidestep, sent to the outside onto the floor.
Well, I understand why Gory and Paul are kind of partnering up together, making some sort of agreement, but I would not trust Cowpoke Paul as far as I could throw him in.
Oh, Gory, I think maybe going for a bite.
Yeah, the New Age Plague has been known to take a chunk out of the competition. Quite literally like that right there. Snacking on the digits of the VCW Heavyweight Champion.
Takedown though by Paul. And you're going to ride Gory all over Washington, PA.
And Gory was only offering his hand of friendship. And look at what that's turned into.
Now, nice hip toss there by Cowpoke Paul. Falls it with a drop kick. Gonna go classic.
That could be that version of the Paradise Lock. We've
All right.
seen Cowpoke Paul get opponents all tied up.
Cowpoke Paul is not just steeds that are, oh no, that's terrible.
That's a compromising position to say the least.
What can that be doing to the lower back of Gory?
My God. The man is twisted like a pretzel.
Oh my God. Massive chop in the corner. Irish whip sends Paul to the other side. Big clothesline.
Blunt force trauma by the Beastman in Washington. Cowpoke avoids the contact that time.
Oh, Sasu thinking the saddle up stunner rocks Beastman but can't get him down. Oh, Gory tries for the knees. Double drop kick. Beastman at the very least set out onto the floor and even over the guardrail.
I don't know that I've ever seen Beastman quite this disoriented in a match. Certainly it's mayhem when that happens, but it seems like Beastman has been taken to another level.
Waistlock here by Gory. Standing switch, both men trying to get an advantage on the other. Quite a stalemate. Oh wait, back into George Ross! And Gory driving his boot right into, you can say where the sun doesn't shine, on Cowpoke Paul. And then look at those boots, those nasty big boots into the chest of Cowpoke Paul.
This is the vicious side of Gory.
He's incensed. Question is, can Gory mount? Ooh, some more offense here, having to also dispatch Beastman on the apron. Irish whip on Paul, sends him into the turnbuckle, comes charging. Double knees in the corner. Gonna send Paul back the other way. Rapid fire offense, big clothesline. Oh my God, and a super kick.
Did you hear that?
Oh, wait a minute, Beastman's got a chair.
Oh, this is mayhem.
Beastman felt it and he's not happy. Gory with the knee right to the gut cover.
Title on the line. Who is going to control Beastman?
Beastman just absolutely disoriented here. Out on the floor. Handful of hair now on Cowpoke Paul by Gory.
I'm getting nervous here, fellas.
Beastman just lurking out here on the floor, and he's all, I mean, that's the presence that both men have to take into account. There's no way that you can get a victory without dispatching Beastman.
Oh my goodness! And I can't tell if Beastman is just lurking on the outside or if he's disoriented himself.
Oh, big jawbreaker.
This one is becoming as wild as we thought it might be.
Thankfully, the action has been contained mostly to the ring up to this point, but here in VCW, you really never know.
They come over here, I'm going to surprise everybody. I'm running.
Off the ropes. Gory tried for a shot. Cowpoke Paul able to duck under. Oh! Saw Beastman making his way to his feet, and Cowpoke Paul. High risk, high reward with the suicide dive. Now going to come after Gory, but Gory suckering him in.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God! Big body press.
Gory like a missile right there, launching his body at the champion.
Gory, quite the masochist. Able to use his body to his advantage. Now, oh, again, big leg drop there. Cover, hook of the leg. Still not enough to put away Cowpoke Paul. Gory doing everything right. He's been a master in the strategy of, taking down Beastman in this matchup and focusing on Paul and staying on top of him. But Cowpoke Paul has so much fight still left in him.
I think that's a brilliant strategy by Gory, though. Trying to take the big man out and then try to focus on the champion in the hopes that somehow, and look at this. This is
taking him for a do-si-do. And then planting him into the mat with the bulldog.
And why doesn't George Ross put a stop to that?
What, the dancing?
You call it what you want. I see it as being an unfair advantage.
Well, definitely not for fun, but Cowpoke Paul, springing off of the Beastman, trying for the DDT. But Beastman catches him!
Where did that come from? burst of energy from the Beastman.
Oh, caught Gory.
I believe the monster has been unleashed, and I'm talking about the 375-pound monster.
I think you're right, Lamada. And that's the first time tonight.
Crossbody block. You can only keep that beast cage for so long. And now
look out.
The hold of Gory.
What is Cowpoke doing?
Cowpoke perched.
Oh my God! That's over, Beastman.
The Beastman didn't even move.
That could have been disastrous.
He didn't even move.
Beastman.
10 minutes have gone by in the match. 10 minutes.
Getting the advantage here.
He's maniacal.
He's laughing about it.
Hey, wait a minute, Glenn Spectre.
What is he doing up here? Oh, big shot!
Well,
this is a VCW Heavyweight Championship contest. What the hell is Spectre's problem?
Beastman trying to dispose of the big boss.
He has no business out here.
Oh.
Oh, wait, we've got Gory and...
tearing apart our set again. We just rebuilt it.
Wait a minute. Gory is in the ring. Cowpoke is in the ring.
I'm really confused as to what Glenn Spectre was doing out there.
The title is still on the line. I believe Spectre was trying to cost the Beastman the title.
But Cowpoke needs to keep an eye on Gory. Oh. Chop block right to the throat. And now Gory, no, he's thinking tombstone. This could be, we could have a new champion. Cowpoke Paul able to reverse. Oh, wait, roll to instead, cover.
Shoulders down.
No.
The VCW Championship hangs in the balance right here.
Could he be thinking Dust Bowl DDT? Hits it, plants Gory into the mat. Cover. And he gets it.
The winner of the match, and still VCW Heavyweight Champion, Cowpoke Paul!
Cowpoke Paul retains against all odds, standing atop Washington, PA as VCW Heavyweight Champion.
Does this mean that Spectre and Paul are somehow affiliated with each other?
I don't know if it was just his hatred for Beastman
Oh my
or what.
goodness, what does the Beastman have now?
Well, there is chaos in this ring.
Gentlemen, I think we got to go.
I think we got to go. We're running out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here at VCW Fight Fire with Fire 2. For myself, Eamon Payton, for Jim LaMotta, for Declan Finnegan, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time here on IndyWrestling.us.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.